Sue Wilson here. I've got a lovely owl card, and we're using one of our new 3D embossing folders with this one too. I'll show you what it looks like. It is called Leafy Forest. It's kind of one of my favorites. I gotta say, you're gonna be seeing a lot of it. Looks great with the owls too. And this is the Wise Old Owl set. Okay. So we're going to be doing some embossing with that Leafy Forest folder. I have cut a small piece of card here using the double stitch squares, and that's all I'm going to use for this one. So I'm going to actually emboss it so it's got the little bit around it already. Pop that into place and just sort of catch the edges of the trees here. Put that down. Trade out my plates. Put this one away. I just need the folder with the raspberry adapter on top. Okay, so I've got just a really, really nice embossed forest there. We're going to do a little bit of highlighting with some of our distress inks. I've got some Hickory smoke and some gathered twigs, so I'm going to bring those in. We're just going to use the Smoothies to add a little bit of color to those. So that's maybe even a little heavy. Let me take a little bit off here. Go very lightly across the tops there of the trees, just to give a tiny bit of color to them. And because they're a nice deep emboss, you can really just go along the tops here. Get this last little guy on the edge. There we go. You can bring more in if you like with a different tone. This is the gathered twigs. Let me get that on there kind of lighter than that. That should be about right. Let's test it. There we go. So I'm just going to get a little bit of a mixture of colors going, give the tree some depth. Now if you want, you could even go back in with a paintbrush. You could smooth it out a little bit more. Totally your call how you want to do it. I'm just wanting to add a little bit of color to bring those out. There we go. Now what I've also done is I've done another one of these, and I've cut a tree out separately. Okay, so I've taken off some of the leaves just to make it a little bit easier, but I'm going to go back in and add some color to this too. Put this one on there. Oops. And a little bit of the hickory smoke. It's a little heavy. And you could ink this and then cut it if you prefer. Gives you a little more to hold on to. There we go. I like that one being just a little bit darker because it's going to be in the foreground. Okay, oops. Okay, so now what we want to do is pop a little bit of mounting foam on the back of that. I've got a small piece cut here. And let's see if that'll fit in there just about nicely, I think. There we go. And I'm going to pop that right over to the edge here. And it's a little bit taller than I need, so I'm just going to trim away the extra bit. Okay, bring my scissors in, and I find it's easier just to use the edge of the card here as your guide. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my backing. I've used the rectangles and the squares just to add some mats and layers, and we will put this guy on with a little bit of glue around the back. Put it onto a tan backing piece and just sort of center it right in the middle there. And I'll go ahead and put it onto my base piece, and we can work up from there. So I've used the white paper piercing edge and then a little piece of tan card there as a layer. Pop that down. There we go. Come back to that in a second. So now I've gone ahead and I've cut the owl. Now the owl comes in two pieces. So you have a backing, and then you have your top piece of your owl. Now it's got a lot of really nice detail in that, so I've embossed that. And I'm just going to add a little bit of color to his eyes. When we get him all situated here, I'm going to put a little bit of a pencil on right here and here. And just a touch of white. There we go, so you can see that. I'm going to do a quick spray on the back, glue them together. Okay, just line him up with the tan coming through. pretty good. I'm going to come back to him in a second. So I've also cut the branch that comes in a little bit here in tan and in a green. So what I want to do is add this branch on in the tan as the base. Get all of that on there. I'm going to pop that right down to the bottom here along the edge. Give that a second there. I'll tell you what, let's grab these little scissors. I'm going to trim that little guy off, give him a place to stand. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut the green leaves off, and then we'll put these into place here over the top. So I'll just add a little bit of glue to these. And I'm just going to do a trim. Pop that into place. There we go. Got these down here. Put those on like that. And I've got these three here. I'm going to do these two separate. You could ink this if you prefer, but I love the way it looks just pieced with a different color card. That one on. And this last little guy down here we can do, let's see, like that and like that. Piece those right into place. So now we can pop our owl right on the branch above that. In fact, we can even have his little leaf coming right on top of him, get underneath him a little bit. There we go. And if you want, you can add a little bit of dimension, just give these a little fold, however you prefer. There we go. Oh, that one came off. There we go. Okay. And the saying, everything will be all right. Isn't that cute? We are going to add that with the spray glue right below to finish this off. And there you have it. Isn't that clever? Just love the way that background works so great with the owl too. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget, look for our YouTube channel.